Right, good morning, everyone. Welcome back to another lesson 9.07. Please take this opportunity to fill in the header, today's date, which is 4/29/2020, and also today's topic, which can be found over here. Today's topic is writing sinusoidal functions. And this, of course, is the think about it section. Yeah, okay, here you go. All right, so please pause the video and make sure that you're prepared. Make sure that you have your laptop out, your notebook, your graphing calculator, and pencil on your desk, ready to go. Okay. All right, now with that said, let's get right into our aim for today, which is to identify the transformations, some of which we did in yesterday's lesson. You'll be able to take a look at these and have a better understanding today. All right, so our think about it section today says that we're supposed to have the graph of sine and cosine. So I plotted those in Desmos so you can see the two. The one in red is sine, the one in blue is cosine. Now it's asking, how would you make both of them become exactly the same? How would you make that shift? Okay, so first let's take a look at our sine graph. And if you look up here, let's use this 1 point. Okay, it says in the y it's 1, and in the x it's pi over 2. Now if you notice, the pi over 2 units has to do with the x. And since we want to move it in the x direction, we're only going to pay attention to the pi over 2. So let's take a look at the cosine. This one is 0. So how would we move it then from pi over 2 to 0? How would we do that? We'd move it to the left from here to here by pi over 2 units. Now, when we're trying to move that, which one of these from yesterday's lesson, which part of the function would we use? Would we put it in for A? Would we put it in for B? Would we put it in for H? Or would we put it in for K? Think about that for a second. Okay, now if you thought that it was A, let's experiment and see. So if we put this in for A, which is pi over 2, doesn't quite work. Okay. If we put it in for B, okay, here you go. Go. If we put it in for B, hard working from home with your kids. If we put it in for B, pi over 2, let's use brackets, pi over 2. Yeah, doesn't work either. Okay, so the correct place, as you'll see, is if you put it right here. Now we're going to the left, so I know it's kind of counterintuitive, but to go to the left, you'll either have to put a positive or negative. Which one do you think it will be? Positive or negative? If you guess positive, you'll see that you're correct. What would happen if this was a negative? It moves the other way. Okay? which is not what we want. We want to use positive so that they overlap. Okay, and as you can see, they're the same function. So sine of x plus pi over 2 is the same as cosine of x. Okay, see, cosine of x, sine of x plus pi over 2. Okay. Part B says, how would you shift y equals cosine of x to make it exactly the same? So now this is the opposite way. So let's clear out the sign. And now we're going to try to move our cosine to come over to this side. Okay, so moving our cosine from 0 to pi over 2 units, we now identified that we have to do something with the h value. And last time we had to do plus because we're moving to the left, but this time we're going to move to the right. So in this case, we're going to have to do minus a pi over 2. As you can see, if we did that, then we just moved it over to the right. Okay, so just keep in mind, by minusing, you move to the right, and by adding h, you move to the left. Okay? Okay, so I hope that that helped and that you're able to see all of this. And that you'll be able to now comprehend how to move the different functions right and left, and that you'll be all prepared for class. Okay, so use this video to help you get prepared and to be able to do very well in today's lesson. All right, thank you for tuning in. I'll see you in class. Bye-bye.